Just make some notes. I like to pick up on themes from other poets. David, weather forecast. Where's David? Who was on? Yes, the weather forecast. My weather forecast is called. And now the weather. This morning gales. This evening hail. A heavy frost tonight. Tomorrow storms. At times quite warm, but mostly fucking shite. Now, I couldn't help noticing a bit of a death theme tonight. Has anyone else been struck by that? I think we have Death Awareness Week. We also have Death Worms from Liz, which I think is really good. So I'm going to go for a poem about a death fish. This is one I always like to do at this time of year when people are thinking about going on holiday to warm places and swimming in the sea. Don't. It can only get badly. This is called Just When You Thought It Was Safe to Go Back in the Water. I was in need of therapy. I went to the bank and drew my savings, sold my body at King's Cross Station, eBay Gumtreed all my stuff and ended up with just enough for an hour with the analyst. The problem, Doc, I said, is this. The thing that's bugging me is ever since I sat through Jaws, I can't relax on tropical shores. For every time I take a swim, I see this ghostly dorsal fin. Even at home, my skin turns yellow every time I hear a cello. Dual bass, actually, but, poetic license. The doctor said to me, your dread will only disappear if you confront the thing you fear from slightly closer every time until you face it eye to eye. So saying with a hollow laugh, he handed me the Tory graph and showed me where to read. I read about a new device designed to make great whites think twice about swallowing stranded swimmers for tea by means of sonic frequency, known from a distance of 3 meters to be repulsive to the poor man-eaters. I asked if I could leave, but the doctor said, you must be brave, in you there is no other way. They need someone to test the bleep against the sharks out in the deep. Expenses paid plus 50 grand and insurance if things don't go to plan. How could I disagree? I made my will, went to mass, plucked up courage, packed my bags, 25 hours to Australia, on the verge of cardiac failure, then overground to the coast, Shark Bay. Now guess how that place got its name, how did this come to be? This was the venue for the testing, though not, I hoped, my final resting. I found my way to the Science Foundation and started my induction training, beginning with slides and films of sharks of different makes, but all quite hard, as far as I could see. I watched them all, the smallest first, that was bad, but it got much worse when I entered into the second stage, namely floating in a cage beneath the boat in my diving suit, surrounded by the savage brutes staring in at me, until at last the grim day dawned, when no more cage, all hope forlorn. I woke up wishing I was dead, too late we sailed full steam ahead. Over the side sheep's guts were thrown, closely followed by my own, and sank into the sea. I fitted my mask and checked the rope, my final link to the baleful boat, strapped the bleeper to my hand, took one last loving look at land, then fearfully I took the plunge, praying I would eat and not be lunched for the sharks that swarmed around me. I saw the nurse shark, the hammerhead, the tiger shark looking quite well fed, and others I'd learned about, discussing who would have first shout, till all at once they all turned tail, and to a shark they shot away. Were they afraid of me, or were they scared of something else that cruised the continental shelf? I gulped and peered into the gloom and saw a shadow, slimy smooth, thundering through the dreaming depths, the great white shark. I held my breath and stared into its teeth. Left alone by evolution, preserved within the salt solution, through the ages, through the eons, the chromosomes continued on in this great brooding, brutal fish, which turning with a mighty swish now fixed its eyes on me. It came at speed with satanic grace. I held the bleep before my face. When the shark was just 3 yards away, I aimed and fired the sonic ray. Did the great white flinch? Did it blanch? Did it tuck? Did it turn in terror? Did it fuck? But it came straight on at me. And then I knew my life was spent, my wetsuit filled with excrement. The kind of thoughts that fill your mind on the point of death now flooded mine. Was the bleeper knackered, or was my mark the ocean's only tone-deaf shark? I've always been unlucky. Such speculation came too late. I was in its mouth in a right old state, but as the teeth crunched through my waistband, I looked at the bleeper in my hand. through the blood and shit that now exuded. It was only then I saw the sticker, batteries not included.